Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with an extremely good topic for today. Why you get views but no conversion. I've been where you're at, by the way. Every single coach, consultant, agency owner needs to pay attention because the next 35 to 40 minutes will shape and perspective shift the hell out of exactly whatever you were thinking before. Whatever thought process, whatever ideology you might have had before the actual video that you just pressed on right now, I guarantee you, by the end of this video, you will think differently when it comes to your content. Because there's a reason, and it's not normal that you see 100,000 or 1,000,000 views that go into your actual Instagram, and you're left with about 5 booked calls per week, where 2 of them actually close. And you're making around 30K per month. And you're asking yourself, what am I doing wrong? That is not normal. And I urge you to reconsider your decision making, because after this video, you'll understand exactly what must be done so you no longer have the problem of having your views but with no conversion. Let's begin. I broke this down to a 5-section, 5-step framework for everyone to understand. So the first section is going to be qualified versus unqualified buyers and what makes you tell the difference and what's the effect that it has on your actual Instagram, okay? So every single niche is different, okay? I'm in the B2B space, so my niche or my ICP are coaches, consultants, agency owners. It's very easy for me to be able to tell when someone is qualified based off their Instagram. But what if you're operating in a niche or in a market where you cannot tell? A lot of people, a lot of coaches watching right now, they're in a B2C market. Coaches, for example, that do sales training or trading or e-commerce, SMMA, whatever it might be, you won't be able to tell. So there are 2 ways, 2 mechanisms I tell all my clients to use in order to filter out the noise and make themselves understand who you are without you even having to do it yourself by texting them. How do you do it? Number 1 is going to be your actual Instagram front end. When you have your Instagram front end, what I need you to understand is there are a couple of key components that every single person must do in order to understand how to properly differentiate themselves off the actual market. If you have the actual Instagram over here, this is going to be separator. You have your profile picture over here, you have your numbers, then you have your follow button over here. Now you're going to have your stories. This is extremely important for you to understand that if you want to be able to have an Instagram page that is going to self-convert or at least filter through the unqualified attention that you're getting, you need to have a couple things in mind. The first thing is going to be the actual bio that I must urge you to pay attention. For the actual bio, there are a couple mechanisms that we could use to actually implement to get people to understand this better. Number 1 is going to be, how clear are we? What's the clarity? Clarity is very important. Who are we actually speaking to? Name your exact ICP and what their problem is, as an example, and this will help you tremendously. But what's the second one? It's going to be the authority, right? Which is how many people you've been able to help, or what was the cash collected generated all the time, whatever it might be. These are all different ways to actually do it. What's the third one going to be? CTA. Extremely important, because this CTA will get people to directly communicate with you, right? And you want to make sure, this is the part that everyone gets wrong, in your actual Instagram bio, you want to make sure your CTA resonates with the demographic of your actual prospect or audience. So if, for example, you're targeting beginner traders, beginner sales coaches, beginner consultants or agency owners, do not do a complicated CTA. Keep it simple. Like, for example, start. As an example, all my clients that are traders, I tell them, when you're going to do a CTA for traders that are struggling, make sure the CTA could be something as simple as stuck, easy, or scale, right? But there are different CTAs depending on the demographic of audience that you're actually targeting, which is extremely important. But what's the last one? The last one is extremely important. The last one is going to be the long form, which I will get to in a separate section. But just this will auto-qualify right away off your Instagram someone that is interested versus someone that is not interested. The clarity of who you help and what are their problems. The authority, what you've done in the space, the CTA, and the actual long form asset. Now you should have space in this bio to also name what the long form content is about. Whether it could be something as simple as how name went from X to X, Y, and Z, right? Or case study down below, or masterclass down below, whatever it might be. But these are the 4 main ways for you to actually qualify the prospect before they even interact with you, because they will be able to tell right away. What's the second way though? This is where it gets very interesting. The second way is going to be having your stories do the work for you. I see too many coaches, consultants, agency owners, whatever you want to call it, that post stories with no meaning behind them. Personal, lifestyle, trip to Miami, trip to Dubai. Listen, I'm not saying no one cares about that stuff. What I'm saying is it's wasting space on your profile grid. Do you guys understand? You have a matter of 10 seconds until somebody on your page makes a decision of whether they're gonna stick around and not. Give them a reason to stick around. Tell them who you help, what you do. Let your stories and your bio do the talking for you. Otherwise, you are losing to your competitors where they pass the 10-second rule, but you don't. How do you do it? Consistent story sequences, consistent profile bio optimization for your story sequences. Keep it extremely simple. You wanna have one that's gonna be a my story. Your My Story should showcase the journey that you've been on as an entrepreneur for your audience to relate. So if you have the graph, okay, this should be your journey of how you got to the top. But what's next? You also want to have a story highlight labeled case study. And this case study should be the same intention of a My Story, but it will be the ones of your clients. Because guys, the day and age where you could just post random screenshots hoping people will understand and resonate with it are over. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, but they're over. Right now, what the market needs is an understanding of a linear story that has happened to a client. Because I will win every single time. If I post a case study in my story sequence highlights, I will win versus a regular person posting random screenshots back and forth the way maybe you've been doing, because the audience has no context behind it or no journey to follow through. And guys, it doesn't matter if you have the best client results. You must understand it doesn't matter. You could have a $50,000 a month client. I could have a $10,000 a month client. But if I portray it better, I will grasp more of the market share than you will. Because I will have a case study where the beginning of the case study, the beginning of the stories will relate to the audience's pain that they felt. And the journey will showcase over here my mechanism used or my business model used. So they will relate 10 times more to this one than to your regular client result. And the last one is simple. The last one I like to do is going to be the value for the actual third story highlight. Value will be pushing them as much as possible to the YouTube. If you could just do this, past the 10-second rule, my story, case study, value, with the different graphs, you are gaining territory. You are winning slowly every single time. That's for the Instagram front end. The second component is going to be the messaging. Jerry, what is messaging? What does it mean? I hear everyone say it. Take a pen and paper, write this down, I'll explain to you. Messaging at its core. Guys, get ready. What is messaging? Jerry, I keep hearing this back and forth. Messaging, it's knowing what to say to make people or to get people to pay. But they pay in two ways. Pay attention. They pay with their time. Messaging, knowing what to say to get people to pay. Paying with their time, watching your reels. Paying with their commitment, booking in a call. Paying with their money. And I would even argue paying with their emotions as a last one. That's extremely important. That's messaging. Now, how do you get people to pay with these four ways? Well, it needs to be with what you're saying in the actual content, in the actual reels. You guys have seen my other YouTube videos, and if you haven't, I urge you guys to look them over. And as you guys know, there are different content categories, which I will not go over as in depth as I normally do. And if you guys want to look over that video, there's a link in the description to go ahead and check out that video with my client Vlad in a similar setting. It goes over exact content psychology. But to keep it simple, there are different categories, different pillars: educational, credibility, authoritative, personal nurture, value-driven. There are a bunch of different categories within the actual reels. In that piece of content, in that reel, you need to include what the audience needs to hear, feel, trust, attach to, relate to in different ways. Which is why the number one thing I tell every client that joins Growth Capital, which by the way, we specialize in scaling coaches, consultants, agency owners, you name it, we do it. The number one thing we say the moment we join an onboard is going to be get crystal clear of who you speak to. Get crystal clear of who your ICP is. Because the moment you have clarity on their pain points and their desires is the moment your messaging will always hit and resonate every single time. To the point where literally I have a 20-page document just on market research the moment someone joins, because I'm crazy on this kind of stuff. Okay, so your messaging is extremely, it needs to be crystal clear, which is why if you get a bunch of attention on your page with no conversion, I guarantee you your messaging is not up to par. I guarantee your messaging is not specific because you haven't gone to the length to understand who you're actually speaking to in the actual market. What is section number 2? The second section is simple. The second reason why you get a bunch of attention on your reels, on your Instagram, on your stories, but there's no conversion behind it, and your cash collected looks stuck month after month, is because you have no direct, or it's an unclear funnel, which is extremely important. And if you do have a funnel, it's probably broken with the way it's positioned, the headline, the speed of the VSL, the component in the actual video, etc. I'm here to tell you how to fix this. The number one thing is going to be making sure you are consistent with your YouTube. YouTube is the only platform I know where you could voluntarily sit down the way I am with you, film a 30-minute video, 40-minute video, hyper-specific to one problem and one niche, and you will get paid large sums of money, but it's not gonna be a direct. YouTube is going to be an indirect. So the game on YouTube is like this. Take the horizon of 12 months. You post your content in month number 1 or 0, right? And as the months go by, you will only see an effect after month 4, after month 6, month 9, month 11. So it's not a direct feedback, it's an indirect feedback. But you have to understand that if you have a client in the DMs 6 months after the asset was filmed, you can still send them over the asset and they will still buy from you, because the problem never changes, guys. The market might change, the problems don't. It's business, guys. So that's why YouTube is so important. But it will also convert them quicker. YouTube is known that it takes someone an average of 7 hours to make a buying decision. Now, I have people in my onboarding firm that tell me, Jerry, I've watched 3 hours. Jerry, I've known you for a day. Jerry, I've watched a 30-minute video. But it doesn't happen on average, because buyers appear through different characteristics and different ways. Some are skeptical buyers, some are credible buyers, some are logical based, some are emotional based. So when you have different categories on YouTube that will act as an indirect funnel on a long enough time scale, you're going to convert them over time. This is the YouTube game. Master this, and you will never struggle with pressuring clients ever again. Different YouTube videos for different kind of buyers. Understand this. Another extremely important method and overall funnel is going to be the actual lead magnet funnel, okay? This works extremely good for both B2B and B2C audiences. Let me explain why. Right now, guys, in 2026, we are living in a trust recession. Trust that is an all-time low. Everyone thinks that what they're looking on the For You page is AI. They're skeptical of you. They've been scammed before in the past. The Lamborghinis don't look the same. The Ferraris don't hit the same. So how can you differentiate? By creating what I like to call value debt. Why is this important? Because when you're in the DMs with someone, back and forth, and they've spoken to 10 people, Jimmy over here speaks to 10 people, 10 coaches, but from those 10 people, every single person has asked, but there's one person, and instead of them all asking, they asked first, no, they asked first, no, book a call, book a call, book a call, book a call. You said no to every single one. But why did you stand out? Because instead of you pushing the call, you proposed the value asset. Hence why the funnel is so important. And from there, that value debt carries over. And my friend, that is when the debt is here and the call will be booked every single time. Because lead magnets are extremely, extremely important. It could be appearing through a YouTube video. A lead magnet could appear through a PDF format. It could appear through a guide, an ebook, whatever you want to call it. Do not overcomplicate what you're giving in this lead magnet. Keep it simple, straightforward, straight to the point. Let it solve part of their problem, but not enough to solve all of it, and that's the trick. Beyond just the lead magnet, there are obviously different funnels that we could talk about as well. Like one can also be your regular VSL. This works very well, right? But you need to make sure that your VSL is properly placed, not in your bio of Instagram, not in every single YouTube video to push them as much as possible. But what I like to tell my clients is put your VSL in the bio of hyper-specific educational, middle funnel, or bottom of funnel case studies, because that will drive conversion. If you have a top of funnel video on YouTube, do not put the VSL there. Let them go through a different video, and I'll tell you why, okay? I'm giving you guys so much fucking game right now, okay? If you push them, let's say for example, they watch top of funnel video over here. I want you to push them to a video which will be like the best business model to start in 2026, or your educational video. And this will act as the flywheel VSL. Jerry, what's the flywheel VSL? The flywheel VSL will be a component of different videos that will be pushed to them. So imagine the videos in red, okay, are all different top of funnel videos. And in the bio, you push them to this video. You know what happens is retention increases, click-through rate increases. And those are the two primary ways to get YouTube on your radar. Let me say that one more time for you guys. CTR, click-through rate, retention, how long, or session time, I like to say session time as well. YouTube tracks how long I can get one of their viewers to stay on the platform long enough. And if the answer is as long as I can, it will increase my performance tenfold. Keep this in mind, guys. This works extremely well. This is going to be the reason number 2, where you're getting a bunch of attention, but no traction, no conversion, because you have no direct funnel. You have no way to push people through. Section number 3, which is going to be another reason why you get a bunch of attention, but no conversion, is going to be buyer awareness. 5 levels and stages of the buying journey. Master all 5. Money will be the last thing you will lack in your business. Stage number 1, not aware. These are the prospects that don't know much. They don't know what you offer. They don't know if they even have a problem. They're not aware of the business model whatsoever. They're just scrolling. This is going to be mainly your top of funnel, people that want to get rich quick, whatever it might be. Number 2 is going to be problem aware. So if I'm a prospect, I go from not aware, I scroll on your page, I see you have all these cars, this watch, I'm like, shit, this guy is living the dream life. I go into segment number 2, which is, well, I have a problem. What are my problems? Well, because we spoke about messaging in your content, and you have specific messaging tactics that we teach all our clients in Growth Capital. So you can name my specific physiological and psychological pain points. I will then go from like, oh my God, like he's naming my exact problems, to then, stay with me guys, solution aware. Okay, so he's named my problems, but like, man, what's the solution? How could I solve this? What can I do? And that is where middle of funnel content comes into play, where you're educating them on the business model that is needed to solve the problem. Number 4, after viewing enough story sequences, enough reels, YouTube, I become offer aware. Okay, so I'm aware that he has an offer. I'm aware that he is offering this kind of coaching service, this kind of mentorship service to my actual audience. I have a problem. I know there's a solution out there in the market to solve my problem of, let's say, sales training. Oh, has the solution to my problem because he has an offer. And what's the 5th and last one is most aware. You'll normally get these in 2 main ways. Number 1 is going to be in the actual DMs. When they've watched so much content, I get this every single day. So much content. Jerry, I cannot imagine the level of content that you've been giving me and the value. I want to work with you. How much do you charge? The second is going to be them booking from YouTube straight to the call. 2 main ways you'll get people that are the most aware. 2 main ways. Understanding the buyer awareness journey will make so all the attention you get will lead to at least some cash being converted. Because what's happening right now, and the reason why you're on this video is because you're most likely attracting an audience that is over here or over here for the latest. But they're not solution aware, offer aware, or most aware. The reason why you're getting views but no conversion is because you're stuck at this level of not aware or problem aware of the buyer's journey of your prospects. They don't know what the solution is. They don't know if you have the answer to their solution by being offer aware, and they don't know how to get most aware because there's no conversion, there's no content, no assets, no funnels in place. It all funnels through together. So this is also another reason why you're getting a bunch of attention but no conversion. Now, section number 4, arguably my favorite section of the entire video. Why? Because if you guys know, I talk about this with my group calls every single time, which is going to be the different content stages. I've spoken a lot about the different content stages across my page. Let's break it down to 3 main ones for everyone to finally understand as a coach, consultant, agency owner, what it actually means and what it entails. As you know, 3 content stages. There is the top of funnel, there is the middle of funnel, and there is the bottom of funnel. But many of you guys that I see online consuming the content that tells you all this stuff simply do not understand Regardless, after watching all the videos, your content still stays bland. I cannot tell you how many people I see that say, yeah, Jerry, I understand top, middle, bottom of funnel, but then all I see on your reels are a bunch of, let's say, middle funnel educational. Okay, cool, brother. I know you have some kind of knowledge. What else do I know about you? Do I know about your story, about your past, your vulnerable moments, your family, your core traits, your values? I don't know about any of this. So why are you only gonna focus about middle funnel when you're missing this and you're missing this? This is what I see every single day. This is why clients pay me large sums of money on calls, because I tell them what it is. I say, yes, okay, I can see that you have the expertise, but what else do I not see about you? Do I know who you are as a person? Are you able to even showcase to me what kind of person you are? Do you guys see what I mean? Top of funnel, what does it consist of? A lot of the times when it comes to top of funnel content, I want you guys to keep it super simple, which is going to be, number one, curiosity. This can be done in different ways. You could showcase someone's desire. You could showcase your lifestyle. You could showcase your personal moments. You could relate with the audience as an example, right? Very good. You want to be able to attract attention, but you don't want uninterested attention. You don't want unqualified attention, which is why every top of funnel content asset that you're going to make moving forward after this video needs to be relating to your industry, to your market. So if you're gonna post a video of you in a car, at least have the caption or what you're saying include your industry, so those that look at your top of funnel content understand what industry you're operating in, right? I like to have curiosity in different ways. It could be the opening hook, it could be an authoritative statement, a controversial statement, it could be an attention-grabbing moment where you, as an example, are showcasing your journey or your vulnerable moment, your hardest moment, and that garners someone's attention and it relates with them. That is what top of funnel is for. What's middle of funnel? Middle of funnel is used to say, okay, cool, I have all this attention over here, but what do I do with it? Well, this is where the magic happens, because let me tell you guys what happens over here. This is where you are going to build a connection with the actual audience. How do you do this? By showcasing educational clips. Sure, that always works. By showcasing your personality or personal nurture, as an example. This is another very good middle funnel tactic that works every single time. Your stories are very good middle of funnel. Very, very, very good. This is the stage that many people lack the most, because they don't know what it means to build rapport with an audience. They don't know what it means. Garner the attention and convert it indirectly. It's an extremely hard skill to acquire, but once you do it, you'll make a lot of money. This is the middle funnel. I could go through different examples. I could go through different, but the moral of the story is you have to understand what the purpose is behind it. The examples will come in your mind as long as the purpose behind it is understood. What's the last one? This is the one I see people struggle with the most as well, which is going to be your actual bottom of funnel conversion. This can mean case studies is very important, right? Guys, we're in a day and age now where testimonials just isn't enough. People don't just want to hear about the finished product. People don't want to hear about the ending and how the prospect feels. The audience in the market wants to see what journey the prospect has been on with you to get them to where they are now, so they can see themselves in the same journey as your client. Understand this extremely well. That is what the market is demanding nowadays. What's the second way? Okay, yes, case studies, testimonials work as well. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. As I just said before, it does, but case studies work better. It's also going to be a value-driven asset. As you guys see on my page, I love doing these. Whenever I showcase my intellectual property and I do a common CTA and people come through as an example, I love doing value-driven assets. It works extremely well. Only if the demand on the top of funnel and the demand on the middle funnel is properly done. So when I have the bottom of funnel over here, it converts every single time. Because if I have 1,000 people on the top of funnel coming in a week, let's say, and we have 200 that get to the middle funnel because the rest aren't interested for some reason, and from 200 I get about 75 that are in the bottom of funnel. Out of 75 I get people that comment back to my actual, let's say, asset. I get about 40. I'll book 4 calls, 5 calls from there. I'll close 2 or 3. I'll make $40,000, $50,000 off of one Instagram reel because I understood aspect 1, aspect 2, and the last aspect. That is marketing. That is why you don't have content stages in place, which is why you're lacking conversion behind your attention. Last but not least, the last section I want to go through is going to be your actual converting mechanism. A converting mechanism is a strategy or a place, location, asset, landing page, an action that a client takes that converts them over time. I spoke about the VSL, I spoke about the YouTube. I did not speak about the power of DMs or also dialing. A lot of coaches I see that are not that experienced in sales, which is normal. It's understood. You have expertise somewhere else. They get all the attention. They have no idea how to turn their attention into actual cash. Here, you have your Instagram. You have all your reels. You have all your attention. You have a bunch of people over here, right? A bunch of people over here. But you have no way of understanding how you could push someone from a reel directly to a conversation where you guys are chatting back and forth over here. As an example, right? You're chatting, then they're chatting over here, they're chatting here. A lot of people get stuck at either this section over here, not knowing how to push people to the DMs, or even this section over here when it comes to how do I actually get them to go from DMs to booking in an actual call and paying me large sums of money. Either this bottleneck number 1, number 2, or number 3 is misunderstood. So this is one of the main reasons why you have no idea how to convert the actual attention, because the mechanism is flawed. Because what you're doing might be too high pressure, or you just don't know what questions to ask your audience because you haven't taken the time to understand the psychological pain they have, the desires they have, the mentality they have. These are all different aspects you must understand. If not, you cannot expect to make the money that you asked from the info market because it will not grant you it. I promise you. We've been doing this for a while. Growth Capital, my team, my company and I, my C-suite, we've been doing this for a while. We know when a prospect, when a lead, when a client enters our company and is sharp and understands the psychological problems of their audience. And many of you don't, which is good, but you know where to start now. 5 sections, 5 reasons why you are getting a bunch of attention with no conversion. If this at least shed you guys some light in your actual problem, good. I urge you to take action on whatever section I spoke about and solve it in your business. Because once it's there, once it's solved, that part of the problem goes away, but new problems will arise. Because guys, it's business. It will never be perfect. But why do you want it to be perfect? I'm here in Dubai, beautiful place, beautiful office space, beautiful penthouse with good people. And the only reason I'm able to enjoy this moment, speaking with you, sharing this half an hour, 45 minutes with you, which I absolutely love, by the way, is because I've been through ups and downs. I know how it feels to have low months and high months because I've understood my audience. I've understood what my audience needs to hear. And if you're tired of not making the money that you want to make, you know where you have to go. Link in the bio. Book a call. I'll audit your entire system. My team and I will audit your system. We'll give you some good information, some good game, and you'll leave with some good value. Either way, I'll point you in that direction. And if you're not ready yet, cool. Watch my Instagram, @StecoGP. Look over my stories, my reels. It'll give you a lot more value. And eventually, we will speak in the DMs or on a call. I want every single coach, founder, consultant, agency owner to take what I said on this video and apply it within the next week. Do not get stuck looking at other YouTube videos. Do not get stuck in the trap of consuming too much information with no implementation. Take the 5 sections, implement it, iterate based off the feedback, and let me know in my DMs on Instagram how you found this video and what questions you might have in the meantime. I'll answer you in a voice message and we'll take it from there. Thank you so much, guys. God bless.